Hey everyone! So today's video, I'm going to do a preview of tonight's game between Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs in preseason Game 6. Tonight you should see pretty much a full team for both sides. Not everybody, but pretty much you're going to see the full team. Game 7, which is the last game of preseason, I would think it's going to be the team that they want to start with. Maybe minus Price because of his bruised hand. They might not want to play him, and it won't make a difference if Price plays the last game or not. So that's what this video is about, and that's right here at Talking Habs with Rick. That's me. If you're new to my channel, I have 50 years as a Habs fan. I've seen the highs and lows of that time, and there's been a lot of both, and I talk about it here on my channel. So subscribe and ring the notifications bell, and you'll get all of my videos, live streams, contests, and podcast news, and all that stuff dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. So this is my 7th take, and I'm going to give it a different approach because the first 6 obviously weren't working. So I'm going to go over the lineup, I guess, to start. This is the lineup I found online from John Liu, who is a reporter covering the Habs. And he has all the players still in camp, and he listed as the first 4 lines and first 3 pairings are likely to play. I'm only going to read those off. First line apparently tonight is Lehkonen, Danault, and Gallagher. Interesting. I imagine they want to see Lehkonen in a top role under pressure on a top line and see how he does if he steps up and what his performance is like. And obviously Danault and Gallagher, we're used to seeing them there. Second line is Kotkaniemi centering Cousins and Wheel. So this is the first time Kotkaniemi has had players on his wings that are a little more offensive-minded or energy-wise and can give him some support and help. And I think this might be the best chance for Kotkaniemi to show some offense tonight. Third line has Suzuki centering Hudon and Drouin. So you've got Nick Suzuki centering 2 guys that are struggling. Drouin's really struggling. Hudon is not really struggling getting chances and getting involved in the play, but he's struggling in finishing. So imagine this is a big test for Suzuki. He's centering a line with 2 guys that need to be pulled along. Can he get Drouin started, his offense going, and can he help Hudon finish? If he has a good night, he's a cinch to make the team. If he struggles tonight, we'll have to see. Fourth line has Veroni, Pekka, and Weiss. For Pekka, I think Pekka pretty much has an extra spot sewn up. Weiss and Veroni don't. And I imagine they want to see tonight, give them one final look to see if they're going to send him down or not. And I believe they probably will send both of those players down. Not playing probably tonight will be Tatar, Domi, Armia, Byron, and Thompson. On defense, Mete and Weber, first pairing. Kulak and Fleury, second pairing. So here we go, Fleury playing with Kulak, which if he makes the team would probably be his pairing partner on third pairing. And then we have Alzner and Riley. And again, I imagine giving Alzner a fair shot, and Riley, he needs to show something if he wants to be 6th or 7th defenseman. Not playing, Sherratt and Petrie, Ouellet and Poehling. So Ouellet's still in camp. In net, Kincaid and Lindgren. So what we would expect, since Price is not going to play. And I didn't expect Price would play tonight. I would have expected Kincaid, second to last game of the preseason. So I guess there's a lot of things we need to see tonight still. They're still looking at a couple of guys. They haven't made full decisions yet. I imagine they haven't made a full decision yet on Suzuki. I did see something, a quote from Claude Julien, that's my dog chiming in, about how Nick Suzuki's in camp trying to win a job. He said he didn't say, I think he said something like this, it's not that we've decided yet, but he's got our attention. Anyway, he said we're standing up and paying attention. So they're watching Suzuki, and they want him to be on the team or to prove that he should be or shouldn't be tonight. This is a big test for him tonight. As far as Kotkaniemi needs to show something. I don't think they're going to send him down, but he needs to show something. He hasn't had a great camp. He has not. And I'm high on Kotkaniemi. I love this kid, but he needs to show something like what's going on. Now, it's still preseason. Yes, I guess that's true. Same thing for Drouin. Still preseason. got to wait till the season starts to see what they got this year. I like that they're giving Lehkonen a shot on that first line on the wing to see if what he's got on the top line. Give him a chance to prove, because I'd like to see him possibly be the second line winger going into the season. Okay, a Ryan Poehling update. Good news for Ryan Poehling is he is skating. He has skated, I think he skated this morning for the second day in a row as part of his concussion, what do they call that, protocol? And apparently, and this is coming from John Liu, who is a reporter following the Habs, and he says that there's a good possibility that both Poehling and Paul Byron, who's out with, first I saw a lower body injury, now it's reported as an upper body injury, that they both might be in the lineup on Saturday night against Ottawa. For Byron, great. I'm glad that he can get in before another game in before the end of the season. And as far as Poehling, if he gets into the game, or just that the fact that they're talking about it, means that he's getting better to the point where he will be ready at some point soon, I would imagine, if all things go well, right? So that's good news on Ryan Poehling, and I guess for Paul Byron as well. Now, before I go any further, I would usually pause here for a second, get my thoughts, but I'm going to do a TubeBuddy ad. TubeBuddy, I forgot him for the last little bit. TubeBuddy is a great little extension for all you video creators on YouTube, or just video watchers on YouTube that like to see stats on the side and know something about the video or the channel itself. It's a free extension. You never have to upgrade the extension, but if you do want to, they've got 3 great plans. I use one of them. I couldn't do this YouTube stuff without TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy, my buddy for YouTube. Now listen, you never have to upgrade, so I have a link in the description if you want to check it out. You know, it's just an extension, so it's not a full software or anything. Like I said, it's free. You never have to upgrade. I'm gonna keep repeating that. And yeah, give it a try. And like I said, it's a great little extension. Now, instead of rambling on more about TubeBuddy, let's get back to the video, but I'm going to pause for a second. So what am I expecting from tonight's game? Yeah, it wasn't much of a pause. I know you don't see the pause, but I took like an hour. No, it was just a couple of minutes. So tonight's game, I kind of expect both teams to be icing a team that's a lot closer, and I mean a lot closer to the team that's going to take the ice on opening night for both of them. I expect a better game than the last game, because it can't get any worse, that's for sure. It's still preseason, so both teams are still working on, opening night rosters, evaluating players. So, don't really expect anything from the score at the outside. It's more about what kind of game you see. The little battles, key in on certain players, like I just mentioned, watch their game. That's the kind of thing that you got to take out of these games. So I'm hoping for a good outcome, but I'm hoping more for a good outcome from Nick Suzuki, from KK. I'm actually pulling for Fleury. Excuse me. So those are 3 players I'm going to be watching tonight, and yeah, you do that and have fun that way. So the Habs are also rumored to be looking to shop some forwards. I guess they have an abundance of forwards. So the rumor is that they're looking to move somebody, if not more than one somebody. No names have been put out there except to say that Jonathan Drouin wasn't one of them, which that doesn't surprise me. I didn't expect that they're shopping Drouin right now. So we'll probably see a deal sometime soon. As I said in another video, and this was about Drouin, that if he doesn't start showing something, usually the teams within the first 3 weeks to a month, they're evaluating what they have on the ice right now. Maybe some injuries crop up early on. They might need to make some moves. They've got, and you'll usually see some moves happen right around that time. Not maybe a ton of them, but you'll see some teams make some moves. So, I imagine we'll see something. Because we definitely have too many forwards and probably too many to stock Laval. So, and if you move somebody and get some draft picks, I think that's what Montreal wants to do, and that helps for the cap space that's there, and for the draft picks for next year's draft, which is in Montreal. Now, Riley and Poehling and Fleury. They are basically fighting for that last two spots on the defensive core. I've seen, like, from Mark Denis thinks it's going to be Riley. I think if I heard, I think it was Pierre Maguire thinks it's going to be Fleury. I mean, there's a few different. Everyone's different. I think Fleury has the better track. He's young. He looked pretty good in camp so far. Not perfect, but he looked pretty good. And I don't think Riley did enough to make his case. But he has the NHL contract, and Fleury doesn't. That can make a difference in the early part of the season or going into the season. So that's a fight also, a competition to look out for. So keep your eye on Poehling and who's in tonight. Fleury's in tonight, and Riley. So I would be keeping an eye on Riley and Fleury. For me, Alzner, if he happens to be, fantastic, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't think I think they're just making a show of it. I mean, I imagine they're looking at him, see if he's any better, but I didn't notice it in the last game that he played, so no. Or I guess that was the last game. Drouin. They're playing him on the third line, and I wonder if this might be something that, yes, they're hoping Suzuki might get him kicked into gear, but what if it doesn't, and where do they play him going into the season? If he's still performing like that, yes, he may start the first couple of games on a top six line, but if he's not producing, I think you have to earn your spot, even if you're Jonathan Drouin. And I think maybe starting him, I saw this somewhere, this is not my own opinion, but I agree with it, that playing him on the third line, and I agree with it before I saw this opinion because I have him in my projected lineup from yesterday on the third line. And I think that's a better place. He's playing a little less minutes. They're a little bit more sheltered minutes where he doesn't have to worry about all the other things that he might need to do on the top six line. And he might be able to get his game untracked because something needs to be done. So, yeah, so I think if he gets his game untracked here with Suzuki on the third line, you might see him play on the third line. You might, starting the season. And now I'm going to pause for a sec. Yeah, so two things I actually wanted to say that I forgot. Charles Hudon playing on Nick Suzuki's other wing. Very big game for Hudon. If Nick Suzuki can't get Hudon to pull the trigger, if he doesn't score tonight, I don't see how he stays on the team. I think they'll move him, and he'll be one of those guys that I was just talking about. The other thing I wanted to say was Eric Engels has a quote from Claude Julien on Cale Fleury that I wanted to put in that last segment. So this is a quote from Claude Julien about Cale Fleury. You'll see the lineup in a sec. He must be looking at something. I'm pretty sure, yes, he is. He's part of those six guys. He's still here. He's shown me a lot. That's why he's still here. I think it's a matter of just continuing to evaluate him. That's what we're doing. It's not about he has to show me more or he has to show something different. It's more about giving him more games and for us to get a really good read on him. At the end of the day, he's either going to be here or I think the way he's played, if he's not here, he's going to be a call-up. For us, it's important to evaluate him right away, unquote. That's why I say Cale Fleury has a really good shot to stay. And Riley, I don't think Riley's shown enough. So if Fleury has the next game or two, if he's playing tonight, if he plays the next game as well, and they're both good games, I think he's on the team for sure. And I think they're looking to move Riley at that point. Or Poehling, who I guess either or. But Folan's bigger guy, and I think Poehling is, I like Poehling better than Riley. Now, as far as anything else, I think that's it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe and ring the notifications bell to get all my videos and all that good stuff that give you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. And I think that's it. So thanks everybody once again for watching, and go Habs, go. Bye y'all.